All right. Hello, everybody. We are officially recording. So welcome to our Raising Kids in Real Estate Zoom call with real producers. I know some of you guys have been on some of these calls before, but just for people watching, the goal of our real producers kind of collaborative Zoom calls is just that we are always aiming to create content and opportunities where we can intersect the professional and personal lives of the top professionals in this real estate industry. We think that it makes everybody better as humans and as professionals. So we are, in honor of Mother's Day in May, we are talking about raising kids in real estate, which is, there's, unique challenges and opportunities, I think, in every professional field, but that is definitely true for real estate. I have only joined you guys in this industry for a year and a half now, and I can see there's a lot of unique challenges to having kids and being a working, mom or parent in this world. So I thought it'd be fun for us to get together and talk about it. Our goal here is really just, if you walk away with one nugget, one piece of encouragement, one new tip or trick that you want to implement, or wisdom that you have passed on to the rest of this community, then I consider that a win. And I hope you do too. So we're going to dive right in because these are meant to be quick. I'm going to let you guys go around. We'll start at the top of my screen, which is Bridget, and just ask you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about who you are, who you work for, how long you've been in the industry that you are, and then tell us a little bit about your family.
I'm Bridget Holmes. I work for Placer Title Company in El Dorado Hills, and I'm a mom and a wife. I have two children, a son actually who's 17 today, it's his birthday, and a little girl that's 10, she's almost 11. I've been with Placer Title this year for 9 years, and I've been in the industry for a little over 20 years. So it's been fun, and it's always changing, and it keeps it exciting. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Go ahead, Peggy.
Yeah, so I'm Peggy Arif. I've been in the industry since 2005. I have 5 kids that are 15 down to 6, and I've been with, I'm with EXP now, and so I got into real estate thinking it would be great with kids because it was a flexible schedule, but it didn't turn out as flexible as what I thought. So, yeah.
Allison, down to you.
I feel you, Peggy. I'm Allison Cooper. I am with Remax Gold. We have a satellite office in Georgetown that recently opened in December. Previous to that, I had an Intero real estate franchise for a few years that I shared with the broker. So I'm a team leader. I have 2 under me currently. Been in real estate 11 years. Opened up an insurance agency as well, right next door to the real estate office. Had that for a little over 3 years now. And I have 2 girls and a baby boy on the way.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. And Ivy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ivy Wilkins here with Placer Title Company. I've been at Placer Title for about 6 years now, and I've been in the industry for almost 30 years. And I've got three grown daughters, and I have 2 stepsons. And I love this business. It's exciting, it's fruitful, and I'm happy to be here. So thank you.
That's awesome. I apologize. We have some people that are probably going to be popping on in just a minute. They're sending me panicked texts because, that's just the way that it goes. Maybe they'll make up some great excuse about why it's their kid's fault that we're late to the call. Okay, I would love to hear from you guys. Did you grow up in a real estate family? Did you ever imagine that you would be doing real estate? Is that something that was in your picture for your future and your family, or did you kind of come upon it by accident? Share with me some of that background, and you don't have to be polite or go in order, just jump on in and talk over each other until one of you gets the floor.
So my parents were real estate investors, but they had full-time jobs, and my mom was she was a newspaper advertising executive. But I grew up working on their rental properties from a very small age. I can change out a water heater. I can do electrical. I can do a lot of fun stuff. But I grew up in investing, so that's kind of how it piqued my interest.
Awesome. I'm going to say hey real quick to Saneet. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, real quick. How are you?
We are just introducing ourselves. You can tell us real quick, just not to put you right on the spot, but tell us how long you've been in real estate, and then a little bit about your family, just so we have some context going into our conversation.
Sure. Off and on for, what's the article say? I think since 2002. I took one break, but yeah, so off and on since 2002. I have a wonderful 5-year-old daughter who is a little princess. And I also have a 1.5-year-old daughter who is a princess in the making. So my house is full of Disney and pink and unicorns, and it's perfect.
Here's everybody. Hi, Samantha. We'll give her a second. She's connecting to audio. Hey, you made it.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I was talking to somebody.
That's okay. You know what? We are.
How's everybody?
Good.
We're doing great. Oh, look at you floating around the room.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
great.
Ivy.
Samantha.
We're just introducing ourselves, so I'm going to let you just jump on. We are recording, just so you know. We've kind of jumped into the conversation, but we're all about blending personal and professional. So this is just the way that it goes. We all laughed beforehand and said you guys should probably come up with a great excuse of how your kids are the reason why you're a little late jumping on the call, and then it'll be right on topic.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my kids.
Right.
My
Right.
daughter's actually helping my team with some marketing, so I was over there talking to them. So it is a real excuse.
That's awesome. Okay, Samantha, really quick, tell us who you are, who you work for, how long you've been in real estate, and then a little bit about your family, what kiddos you have, how old they are, and whatnot.
Okay, so I'm Samantha Tove with Portfolio Real Estate. We opened Portfolio Real Estate about 2.5 years ago. We went from like 5 agents to about 50 agents right now. We are exceeding our expectations. First quarter, we're killing it. We sold 120 homes our first quarter. I'm a mother of 2 kids. My daughter's is 22 and one is going to be 21 soon. They're both in colleges. They're both graduating this December. Thank God. College is expensive, people. So make sure your kids only apply for state schools, no out of town, no private. That was my mistake. I tell everybody, do not let your kids apply anywhere and everywhere. But you know what? I'm a Tiger mom, and they're on the dean's list, so they're exceeding my expectation that I never got to go to college. And now they're doing everything that I've always wanted to do. So I love it. What else? I'm an advocate, a philanthropist. I love giving back to the community. If anybody knows me, there's a big event this coming Saturday. If anybody's in town and wants to be part of it, it's to Stop Asian Hate. It's a national event at our state capitol this Saturday between 11 and 1. It's from all over the United States to Australia to Canada. National event this Saturday. So you'll be seeing it everywhere worldwide. I think I have like 20 plus people joining me, but there's going to be a couple hundred people, if not thousands of people at the Capitol this Saturday. So it's a good thing. We all have to raise awareness that we're in this together. We're all united. We're all one race, and we should all get along. That's all.
Absolutely.
Good job, Samantha.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
I'll try and come out.
Are you going to come out, Sanjit?
Sanjeet, not now.
Why? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Good luck on your next offer.
No.
Oh, shut up. Did I tell you I'm dyslexic? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you guys are funny.
I was on a call at the CAR meeting earlier, and Sanjit was on there, so I'm sorry. My mind is like one meeting to another meeting, so.
I have to give you a hard time. Come on.
So funny.
You need to come out more. People say you don't exist because you don't answer phone calls.
Wow, we're getting down to it now.
True.
All right, we're gonna circle back, guys. We're gonna bring in the wagons. And Denise and Samantha, I just kind of threw out the question. I was asking everyone if they grew up in real estate, if they grew up exposed to the real estate industry at all, if your parents weren't in that, like how did you ever imagine that real estate would be the path that you would take? And yeah, so I was just asking for a little background on that from anybody who wanted to share. Peggy shared a little bit. Also, I want to give you guys a chance. I want to point out Bridget and Ivy are on the call from Placer Title, and then Allison and Peggy, they already introduced themselves. Allison has 2 daughters and is expecting her first son soon, and has 5 kiddos, same as me. So Peggy and I feel each other's pain. So
you look fantastic, Katie. I don't know how you do it. You look fantastic.
All right. So if anybody else grow up in, I'm going to slide right on.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's move on just for the sake of time. I would love to hear from you guys what, I like to start on a positive note. There are obviously going to be challenges that require kind of overcoming about raising kids in the real estate world. Peggy mentioned that she got into it thinking that it was a flexible career, and being surprised to find that was not so much the case, which I hear a lot as I meet with you guys. But let's start out on a positive note. What is something or some of the things that you guys are grateful for about the career you've chosen, opportunities that it has allowed you and your family, ways that it is positively impacting your kids and your family? Let's just start out with kind of a round robin of gratitude, and feel free to jump in whenever.
I can start. Yes. Can I say something?
Ladies first.
So on your earlier question and how I got into real estate, I think I started, my family is living the American dream. We got sponsored from the Genocide War to Oklahoma City, and my parents didn't speak English. And I started in kindergarten to first, second grade, whatever English I learned, I became the translator in the family. And when my parents bought their first home at the age of 7 or 8, I was translating their real estate documents to them. So that's something that I've learned. And I remember I started in real estate with RE/MAX, and in Oklahoma City, RE/MAX was like, I knew that this balloon exists, and that's where my love and stuff became. But I've always been raised in the restaurant and owning your own business world until my entrepreneurship teacher told me at my first wedding, says, wasting your time doing restaurants, a lot of work, you should get into real estate because I think you could do good. From that, I started taking a real estate class, and I haven't looked back when I started my career in Sacramento in 2004. But I love the people that I meet. I don't have any friends in Sacramento that I grew up with. All the friends I have is my colleagues through real estate, like Mr. Big Block right there. You know, it's amazing through all the people. Like Ivy, when she first moved from Marin to Placer County, I was part of Women's Council of Placer. I met Ivy. I mean, the amazing people that you meet through real estate and colleagues is phenomenal. I get to go all over the United States and meet people, and those are all my extended family, and I love what I do right now. And I want to get my kids into real estate. They're like, no, Mom, you're a workaholic. You're crazy. You know, your clients are crazy. They don't give you a time, leave you alone. You're constantly on your phone, day, night and stuff. You're on, but I love what I do, and I love being there for my clients. But slowly but surely, I think my little daughter is getting into it. She's in my office doing marketing. I made her the manager of my office. So surely but surely, I'm pulling them in.
I love it.
I love it too.
That's awesome. Who else?
I mean, so about gratitude, and I mean, you know, many people I'm not going to say this for myself, but it was never my intention, do come to real estate for the flexibility, right? And I think that that really makes the real estate industry kind of a wonderful place, because so many different people can get in and make it what they want, right? I have plenty of parents here, single parents, who are absolutely crushing, right? I have, happily married or, cohabitated parents who this is completely supplemental for their child raising needs, right? And that's something that I'm grateful to this industry, not for myself because I only have one speed, but it really allows people to shine and do what they want to do, right? You guys all such a powerful group here. Like, there's just so many different ways to get it done.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like I just kind of block out my schedule for all of my kids' things. Like, I was art docent for all of my kids' school. I went on most every field trip for all 5 kids. And so, if you book it like it's an appointment with a client, I was able to do a lot more than probably what it would be if I had a conventional job. And also, I think my kids are more entrepreneurial because they see what I do. And I mean, my 15-year-old has a business and she makes excellent money every month. And I don't think she would have done that if I was working a traditional job. And I bring my oldest daughter, starting at 12, I had her do open houses with me. So it's a great way to spend one-on-one time. And then she got to just see in person, building interpersonal dynamic skills and confidence. And so I think it's a great thing to fold your kids into your business.
I love that, Peggy. You're super inspiring to me. I learn a lot from you, and I already got my nugget. Book your kids like they're your clients, and that's how you make the time for them. So there's one of my nuggets. My goal is always to bring away at least a couple nuggets from each call. So that's awesome. Thank you.
That was probably the best advice I ever got when my first year in real estate. I was a single mom. My husband left me when the kids were 5 and 6. My first year into real estate, he left. He said, I loved the kids more than I loved him, and he decided to leave. And one of my colleagues told me, he goes, you need to treat your kid's appointment as a client appointment. If you tell your clients that you have to take your kids to the doctor, you have to do a room mom and go on a field trip, they would not respect you. You would lose the respect of your clients. But if you tell your clients, that day I'm totally booked with other clients, can we make a different day? They will respect you more by saying that. So I echo what Peggy said. That is the best advice. Being a single mom for 9 years, I had to use that excuse more than once that, I'm already booked up that time, that day already with other clients. We're at work, and clients will work around your other schedule. They know you have other clients, but they do not want to come against your kids and family because they know family and kids are first and they don't want to be second. So learning that terminology and how you talk is how you're going to excel and succeed in this business, and especially for single parents.
I love that. Hey, I just want to take a second to say hey to Shelby. You made it
Hi,
on.
Shelby.
Hi.
Hi, sorry, just ran out of a meeting a little later than proposed.
That's okay. We all have just talked about how we're going to say that we were just helping our kids, because that's very clear to this topic, right?
I mean, I was just with my children.
Right. No, you guys, this is Shelby Ryburn. Shelby, I'm going to let you introduce yourself really quick, and then you'll catch up to speed because we are recording. But I'm super glad that you were on. We are just sharing who we are, where we work, what the dynamic or makeup of our family is, and then you can jump right back into our conversation, which is what are we grateful for about your chosen career? What does it allow for your family that might not otherwise be the case? Because we'll get into the challenges in a minute. So we're just starting off with gratitude.
So my name is Shelby Ryburn. I am one of the co-owners of the More Real Estate Group. There are 3 of us, Brian Martell, Ricky O'Neill, and myself. We have a team of 15 people, and we produce, I guess we did 150 transactions last year. We're on track for 250 this year. Work all around Greater Sacramento, as I'm sure the rest of you do. But more importantly, I am married and have 2 kids that are literally like the light of my life. I get emotional even talking about them, because there was a time when I thought I wasn't going to have children because my career was more important. And so my kids have transformed me. They are 7 and my daughter turns 5 in 2 weeks. So I'm in the crux of the young stages, and I'm also the breadwinner of my home. So my work has to play a strong role in order to keep my kids in private school and our mortgage paid. So I am constantly working on the balance, of course, as we all are. Yet I would say that the benefits of this business are probably very similar to what you guys all recognize as well, which is, maybe there are times where I'm working after I put them to bed, but I also can press the eject button and go to, pick them up from school for lunch for just a special, mommy daughter time or mommy son time. And I love having the flexibility to be able to do that in this business. So yes, there are challenges, and I'm sure that we'll get into that. Yet I think the benefits outweigh it because of the flexibility that it provides, which just means that you've got to kind of put in the work outside of the hours that are, should be given to your kiddos. So
yeah,
it's a
I love
constant
that.
strive.
Thanks. Way to jump right in. Yeah, we were just talking about one of the nuggets that I'm already taking away, as Peggy and Samantha just chatted about, booking your kids like your clients in your calendar so that you've got that kind of protected time and it's respected. Another benefit that Peggy threw out is the entrepreneurial side of that, and your kids getting to watch that, and that may be inspiring them in some ways. Allison, I know you have a lot of that in your story, just from even the brief time that we met. You have like so many irons in the fire and are super business owner, go-getter. So I just wanted to tee it off to you and give you a chance to share as well if you want to.
Sure. Well, part of what I'm grateful for with this career, out of high school, I went to school to be a preschool teacher, and that's what I did for many, many years. And although I absolutely loved it and it was very rewarding, the income, capped off at a certain point. So with real estate, it really is the income potential, and I can work as hard as I need to meet a certain goal, or we can scale back when we need to, which is amazing. Scheduling those family vacations, you block it out ahead of time, you get someone to cover, you don't have to ask the man or the boss to take the time off. It's really rewarding in that aspect. I have my oldest daughter working in my office now. She's, getting phone skills and filing and all those little things that sort of build the confidence to be in that next phase. And her goals are to have a little online clothing business that she designs the clothing. And I feel the same, we've sort of created these little creative entrepreneurs within our households because they see the potential that we offer. My girls are homeschooled, so that adds another little bit of that. They're older, so I don't have to be with them every moment. Obviously, that wouldn't work. But I come home on my lunch breaks, and I can have 2-hour lunch breaks if I need to, if I block it out. So it's pretty great. It wasn't always like that, and I know we'll get into the unique challenges piece later. But I think I'm to a place where finally I don't have to just grind all the time. I can schedule it in when needed.
That's great. Bridget, Ivy, I want to give you guys a chance to chime in as well.
So I was fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom when my girls were young, and they're about 2 to 2.5 years apart. And then their father and I divorced, and a really good friend of me introduced me to the industry. And it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me, where I could have my girls with me and involved in my business, and we would do open houses together, and they would hear me in the car servicing agents. And the people that I met and the friendships that I made, having a servant's heart and being able to have my girls with me during that is a true blessing. And I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So for me, I'm super grateful for the industry first and foremost because I grew up in a small town. I grew up in Fort Bragg, if you guys know where that's at. And so I was used to going to the grocery store or driving down the street, and you're always seeing people that you know. And when we moved to El Dorado County, we only knew literally a few people. And so coming to work for Plaster Title Company, I stayed home for a couple years when I first moved here with our daughter. And I came to work for Plaster Title. And the longer I'm in this business with this company, there's so many great people that I meet that it makes me feel more at home in El Dorado County the longer we're here and the longer I'm in the industry. It gets smaller and it gives me that small town feel again that I missed when we first moved here. So I would say that's something I'm grateful for. As far as raising my children in the industry, it's been really great just because I am able to work in the office and work out of the office. So if we are going to a sporting event or if we're driving somewhere, I'm able to take a call or make a call. And my children, same with Ivy, they're able to see that it's okay for mom to work, and also you know, finding the balance as far as parenting goes, and tell them that it's okay for you to, you know, work outside of the home, and it is possible as a family to be able to work it in and make it work both ways with your career and with your kids.
I love that. Yeah, transitioning a little bit into the challenges, I think that is one of the things that I have found coming from a couple years of somewhat mainly being a stay-at-home mom for a chunk of years where I mostly did volunteer work besides being home with them, and then coming into full-time work, that take a call, make a call. It's like they needed to be trained in that, because at first they just had this like homing device for when I needed to make an important call, and that was exactly when they needed me. But I have seen over the last year and a half, 2 years, they have started to learn and respect the fact that mom works full time. There are times that your needs are not the first thing on my agenda, and that's okay, and that's actually good. So that's been something for me that has been kind of a cool transition to watch go from challenge to what I think is actually opportunity for them to see me in a different light. So that's cool. What are some of the other kind of challenges, unique challenges to real estate? This can be specific to just, you know, working full time and raising them, or uniquely about real estate, which I know like sometimes it's all hours and all days and all of that. So I know that's a unique one that I'll throw out there. But what are some of those unique challenges, and how have you sought to either accommodate for or overcome those challenges? And again, anybody can just kind of jump right in.
My challenge is making sure my wife is happy enough to stay home and watch my kids all day.
That's true.
That's why I work so hard.
Yeah, that's absolutely a challenge.
I think putting some boundaries on the client contact after hours, like I take a client call if they're going to not be able to sleep that night, or if we're actively negotiating a deal. But other than that, you know, I'm up at 5:30, so you can call me then, but at some point it's kind of got to stop in the evening because your kid's impression of you will be, you know, all of this. So kind of bracketing and explaining to your client, like if you have a question that you can't sleep that night unless it's answered. I mean, the unique challenge to real estate is that, you know, the people that actually help with the transaction, the title people, the lenders, you know, they work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But our clients, you know, they need us when they're off of work, which is Monday through Friday, 5 after, and the weekend, right? And so getting some showing agents to help out on the weekend has given me a lot of relief. Like, you know, I'm not going to show on Sunday, but that's okay, because Terry can show you, and I have him open doors for me, and I pay him per door so that you get some like real actual time off. And then when I go on vacation a couple of years ago, I have a secret cell phone that just my assistant and my husband have the number for. So I went for like 3 weeks to the East Coast, and my assistant Brianna and I had some agents subbing for me. Brianna had my phone. So, you know, I actually had a vacation where they just reached out to me when it was urgent that I needed it. And that was the first time, like 3 years ago, that I actually had a vacation from starting in the business, because it's just, you know, it's like the busiest day is the day before you go on vacation. And then, you know, people that you haven't talked to since the Bush administration want to sell their house or buy a house while you're in Hawaii, right? It's just kind of like, really? Are you serious? You've been talking about moving since, you know, so just kind of setting those things up so you don't burn out, which is like so easy to do in this business. So.
Are you guys writing this down? Secret cell phone? I mean, seriously, this is gold. This is awesome. Okay. I love it. All right. What else? Throw it out there.
I would add to that on the boundaries front. I think, though, that sometimes I'm my own worst enemy because I'm the one that's responsible for setting the boundaries, right? It's my requirement to be self-disciplined. It's not the world's fault. I can either let people have all of my time or the portion of my time that I set boundaries within, right? And so, like Sunny, I'm blessed to have a spouse who drops the kids off at school and picks the kids up from school. But Fridays are my day to pick the kids up from school, and nothing gets in the way of that, period, ever. Unless we're leaving on a family vacation on Saturday morning and I'm going to be with them for the next 10 days. That is the only time that I will allow myself to not pick them up on Fridays. And so, but I had to put that in place, right? Like I had to create that opportunity for us. And then I would just say, on top of that, you know, the challenge is the phone to me. I mean, there's so many actual like, psychological reasons about detaching ourselves from our phones and it not being really, you know, healthy to wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is lay in bed and look at your phone, but we all do it, right? Am I the only one? And so I would say, because I'm aware of that, I do my best to not be on the phone while I'm at home. And so sometimes that means I'm in my garage for 20 minutes and my husband will literally bring a drink out to me because I'm still on the phone in my garage. Because the moment I step out of my car and go into my house, I'm done. I'm done making phone calls, and I may have had to spend 20 extra minutes in my garage on the phone, but the moment I step out of my car, I'm done. What's funny though is last night I was laying on the couch giving my time to my kids, like almost falling asleep, exhausted, and my phone rings and my daughter comes and answers it, and I'm like, oh guy, man. So it was a client, and all of a sudden I had to take a client call, but it also taught me like, oh shoot, I'm not doing a good enough job because she thinks I have to answer the phone every time that it rings, right? So I also think it's just awareness and knowing that we're all fairly addicted to this device that's in front of us, which is how we do business, and continuing to maintain those boundaries through our own self-discipline.
I think, Shelby, it's important to set an expectation with other agents that you're in transactions with. So once we've negotiated a deal, I will talk to the agent and be like, okay, Lisa, here's the deal. Like, you know, if we could get business done together, you know, Monday through Friday before 5 o'clock, that would be great, because that will free you up in the evening and me. And so if you contact me after that, it's going to be the next day. So get it in there, right? Because I think as agents, I mean, unless it's like an active listing or we're actively negotiating something, we can usually wait till the following day, right? And so having a conversation with all the agents who are in escrow, I have 11 escrows right now that are pending, and having that conversation with the agent, that cools a lot of the phone calls down. So because I feel guilty not responding to people right away. And so if, you know, if they know I'm not going to respond, then I don't feel bad about it too.
So when I first, you know, my kids were born after I became a realtor. And when my first kid was born, I was newly married because I got married when my girlfriend got pregnant. And we had our kid, and I was still out like grinding, like, working hard, doing the real estate activities we're also comfortable with. So it was at that point where I said, I need leverage, right? So I need agents to work for me. At that point, we got 3. Now we're at like 120 or something, right? And every time that when I had my second kid is when we launched the Zillow offers. It was the same week. The due date and Zillow offers launching was in the same week. That was crazy. So I'm in the delivery room with my wife, and like my staff is calling me. So I say, we need more managers. We need more people. So we, then our staff was like 8 back then. I think my staff is like 35 now, right? So everybody listening, like if leverage is out of reach from a financial point, hire a VA, right? Like start to leverage tasks immediately. Read a book, a leverage book, or join a Facebook group. But I think the sooner that any business professional, self-employed, whether it's an agent or not, accepts being able to leverage the minutia to where, you're really performing the duties that are high dollar duties, and you're not like making copies or stuffing envelopes or making a damn flyer for an open house or some other BS like that. That was a close one. The more flexibility and freedom that you'll have. And also, like, yes, make a schedule, stick to your schedule. Absolutely.
Well, and if you don't have the financials to have leverage yet, then figure out what you need to do to get there. Because anyone can do anything for a finite period of time, right? I remember when I couldn't afford an assistant, I had to do, look at my P&L and say, okay, where do I need to be in order to bring this person in my life so I get my time back, right? And then I'll just get my kids to buy into that. Okay, mommy's going to get here and we're going to get this at the end of that. Mm-hmm. So they're bought into it, because I think any one of us can put our head down and do something for a finite period of time to get to a space where we have more breathing room and more margin. We all have to do that. Yeah. As we go.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I apologize. I think I really do want to honor you guys' time, and I had told you that we would look to wrap right around 11:25, 11:30. So I don't want to miss our Fast 5 way of closing these calls, because it's my favorite. So
I wanted to add one thing,
yes,
Katie. Listening to all you guys talk, it's pretty amazing. A lot of people don't know this, but there's not many spouses that would support a breadwinner. What'd you say? One of you guys said you guys are a breadwinner. When you're successful, there's a lot of women realtors that ends up divorced because their spouse doesn't support them, but they can't handle that you are successful. And that's the biggest obstacle for a successful woman. I know I'm having issues with my husband right now because I work so much and he doesn't understand that. I'm building this company. I'm there for my team. He says I'm there for my team more than I am for him. And it's, if you look around, there's so many successful agents out there that's women. They're all divorced, and it's hard. It's hard to find that one spouse that will actually take a step out and don't mind you being the breadwinner, or don't mind that you're successful and stuff. So I applaud all you guys that have that spouse behind you, because that is a rarity. So make sure you give them all the love and support, and that and just gratitude. Make time for them, because if they're supporting you, they are a keeper for life. So I just wanted to add that 2 cents.
Can I just add one thing? I think we all need to remember to allow for grace. Give yourself grace. Super important.
I think that's really good too, because well, I love that reminder, Samantha, and I think it is important that's one of the challenges, and seeking to overcome that, showing that respect and gratitude for the spouse who is showing that respect and gratitude for you as somebody working and grinding, whether it's a husband or a wife. Really, it's very hard to balance that. And then I think grace comes in there as one of those things that kind of blankets and overlies both giving grace for making a family work in this environment, and then grace for yourself, because we all are going to feel like failures at times. And Yeah. So
That's why I love the events that you throw. Sometimes, you know, we're all having bad days, whether it's family issues or just a hard day. Just having these little mixers and gathering, just the smiles. But behind the smiles, there's a lot of tears and heartaches. But it's really nice just to have a night out. That's what I'm looking forward to, that June 17th and stuff. But, you know, it's friendship. I mean, Sanique and everybody else that I've met through the years in all my real estate, they're my extended family. I feel like the real estate world is a big family environment. So I'm really grateful in the business that I'm doing because I just have a bigger family everywhere I go. I love the people that I see, the people in this group chat. I admire all of you guys. So thank you.
yeah. Well, and like Peggy said, I think relationships and knowing each other have these behind the scenes families and goals and boundaries that we're trying to stick to. When you can come and be real about those, then you can kind of support each other in that. And I like that Peggy threw that out, like talking to each other in the transaction. Hey, here's my goals. You know, I'm a real person. I know you're a real person, and we have all these other things. Let's try to get these done within these work hours, or here's, you know, and so relationships, it seems like in this industry, are really so key in that, because you really can commit to each other. This is how we're going to do business. Let's do it, you know, together and support each other in the balance we're trying to find. So I like that. All right. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, Katie, I know I jumped on a little bit late, but you had talked about one of the benefits is of being a parent and raising kids while in real estate is the example that you set. And back in 2013, when I got pregnant with my first child, I had received a message on Facebook from the daughter of a mom that I had worked with. And she was telling me that she was excited that she was pregnant, but that she was sorry she couldn't come to my baby shower. And then she said this: I was talking to my mom yesterday about how it was really nice to grow up with a mom who was smart, hardworking, and successful. Having such a good example for a mother has really helped me now that I've entered into the real world. I just wanted to tell you that you're going to be such an inspiration to your child. I've never told you this before, and I wanted to tell you now that you're such an inspiration to girls like me who want to be successful businesswomen. Not only will your son have a wonderful father, but he will have a wonderful mother that will set the bar high for his standards for a spouse someday. Just thought that I should share that with you. And that kind of goes back
so
to
beautiful.
What we were talking about, giving ourselves some grace, because I think the balance is tough. I mean, I don't have it down. I don't have it nailed. And sometimes I'm great at it, and sometimes I'm terrible at it. But it also reminds me of the impact that we can have too, as long as we're cognizant of the balancing act.
You're gonna make me cry on this call, Shelby.
It just, I mean, that message came to me 8 years ago, and I've never forgotten it. You know?
I love that. I love that message. We are all setting high role models, examples for our kids. And I think everything that we're doing right now, whether we're giving back, whether we're leading, whether we're succeeding or failing, our kids are there watching us. And the biggest gratitude that I have in this business is I'm doing what I love. And my kids know that I do give back, and they have a compassionate heart as well. And I wrote down what Ivy said earlier, is the servant heart. And that's what we all have doing this business. Like, I woke up this morning, I text my partner, Judy, and I go, we're supposed to get this Tahoe listing. And I just told her, I go, the seller passed away yesterday. And I go, it's amazing that our business takes us into people's lives. Even we never met them, it hurts us. We feel the pain, we feel the agony. We're there for the family. And there's no other business that allows us to do that. And to be in this business, you have to have thick skin. You have to have a compassionate heart, or else you wouldn't be here doing what you do, because we're all mediators. We are in divorces. We're in all these situations. We're along each family for the road. And at the end of the day, we're also their therapists too. But we create friendships lasting. And I love that message you just did. I just want to cry. I mean, that is a beautiful message. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, put your game faces on. We're going to do a final round of Fast Five. These are just silly questions. Actually, I think the last one you can take a little bit seriously if you want to. But I'm going to go in order. So remember the name that I say right in front of you. We're going to start with Bridget each time. Ivy, you'll follow Bridget. Allison, you'll follow Ivy. Samantha, you'll follow Allison. Shelby, you'll follow Samantha. Sanique, you'll follow Shelby. And Peggy, you're going to follow Sanit. And then we'll move on to the next question. You can just answer quickly. It can be silly. And then that'll wrap us up. Okay, so Fast Five, Raising Kids in Real Estate edition. Bridget, complete this sentence for me. Sorry, you're going to be the first one. Everybody else gets to think about it a little bit. Kids raised in real estate are used to blank.
Used to being flexible just like we are.
There you go. That's good.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's so hard. Sorry. I gave you a hard one to start.
Used to be, patient. There used to be patient.
That's good. Allison, you're up.
Seeing what it takes to be successful.
Nice. Samantha.
Seeing that hard work pays off.
Oh, I like that one. Good.
Is it my turn?
Shelby's first.
Mine.
Okay.
Maybe it's harder to go last because then all the good answers got taken.
I know. I was gonna say, seeing that hard work pays off. They know that vacations come from putting our head down and working and then getting something at the end of it.
There you go. That's good.
Kids in real estate know what it's like to be a winner.
Cool. That's good.
I think kids in real estate know that it's, at the end of the day, it's the skills that pay the bills.
I like that.
That's good. I promise the rest of these are easier than that. Sorry, I started you with a hard one. All right, Bridget, favorite age so far of kiddos? What's been your favorite age?
Oh gosh.
That's really hard because every age is special in its own way. And with my kids being 6 years apart, like we're kind of experiencing those, again with our youngest. I'm going to say the age our daughter is right now. She's 10, and she's coming into her own a lot. She's going into middle school next year, and I just love how I can have a full-on conversation with her, and she gets it, and she's funny, and she's just at a fun age. Everything's still exciting, and she's looking forward to next year, and that is a very hard question because to me, really, there is no perfect age. They're all fun.
That's true. I'll rephrase. One of your favorite ages. Go ahead, Ivy.
I would have to say in their 20s. They're
Cool.
back. They've gone to college. They're back in your life. You can go and experience adult things together and have, life-worthy conversations and just have fun,
That's awesome.
I'm going to say 17. My daughter has a different appreciation for all that we do for her at this age. Way different than like 13, 14, 15, or just totally balls all around her. And it's really great to see all of the efforts that you've put in for so many years coming to fruition to, see this woman that she's going to be blossoming into. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. All right, Sam.
Favorite age would probably be right now that they're in college, but my favorite memory would be when they were young, when they were about 7 or 8, and I would take them to my open houses. And when they're cute and adorable, you bring these folding chairs because I was a single mom, no one babysit. I like 2 stories. I would let them go see the house. I'll tell them each room. They would take the buyers by. Okay, let's go upstairs. The master's upstairs. Look at this big room. I mean, there were like my little, what you call that thing? It's just like they're my Vanna Whites, right? I would just stand down there. They'd take all the clients. I mean, that's my favorite memories. Taking them with me to the open houses. But raising the kids now would be in their adulthood, where they actually value how they live a very privileged lifestyle because of mommy's hard work.
I like that. All right, Shelby, over to you.
So I have limited experience because my oldest is 7. So,
That's all right.
so far, I would say 5 or 6 because my 4-year-old still has bratty bossy syndrome a little bit that we're not past.
It doesn't go away.
And my 7-year-old, while he still wants to snuggle, he starting to get a little bit of that, like, I'm older now kind of thing. So 5 and 6, I would probably say is my favorite because I'm their only thing in their life.
That's awesome.
So I also have, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I also have limited experiences because I have a 5-year-old and a someone has background noise. A 5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And but yesterday, and it's documented on my Instagram stories, my 5-year-old said, "Do you know my daddy? He runs all the real estate." And that was a good memory from yesterday.
So I have 5 kids. My oldest daughter is my bestie. She's 15. That's a cool age. But as Katie will know, that last baby, when you've got a pack of 5 kids, it's whatever age my baby is. He is delicious and yummy. And he's 6 years old, and we snuggle in bed every morning. And he told his reading teacher yesterday, he was reading a book about a snowman, and he asked the reading teacher, if that snowman's a man, where's his penis? So, you know, you just don't get stuff like that from 15-year-olds, right? Yeah.
Oh man, that is great. You know what? I'm going to end on that one. We don't need to finish off our Fast 5. We're good to go. That was pretty fantastic. Thank you guys so much. This, honestly, I wish that we had so much longer to just, I feel like this is a topic that is obviously so all-encompassing for all of us. Our kids are our worlds. So I just loved hearing from all of you and your perspectives. I'm so thankful for you being willing to come and just kind of represent what it looks like for you. Because I feel like not feeling like you're alone is really, really crucial to making it through. So I appreciate you all. That's going to be the end of our call, and I will release you all back to your very, very busy and full days and lives. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you on June 17th.
Thanks for the opportunity, Katie.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.